Hey guys, Gary from DIY Electronics. Today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you how to, this is, extreme entry level for the Raspberry Pi. Say that you guys were using like ESP32s or these STEM 32s or something like that, and you want to get to something that's just a little bit more powerful. Then you would want to go to like a Raspberry Pi 4 or a 5 or whatever your flavor is. Okay, but this is again, this is going to be extreme entry level, how to get your Pi up and running so that you can see it on your computer monitor and start playing with it. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you the installation of a Pi. This is a 4B, and I'm going to be doing it headless. When I say headless, well, what headless means is there's going to be no mouse on here, there's going to be no monitor on here, there's going to be no keyboard or anything like that. You're going to be able to control it right from your desktop using a piece of software called PuTTY, and I'm going to show you step by step how to, you got your Pi 4, and you're going to need a microSD card. Micro, yep, that's what these require. And then this is a micro SD card holder for you to do some programming. But again, I'm going to start right from the very beginning, how to get your Pi, whatever flavor, running. Okay, this is for absolute beginners on how to get this thing up and running with absolutely minimal equipment and minimal, downloading of different softwares and stuff like that. This is very entry level. There's going to be no freaking fancy slides or anything like that. I'm just going to get right to the point and show you how to get it onto your desktop over here. Again, we're going to do this headless. No keyboard, no mouse, no nothing. The only thing that is going to be plugged in here is the power. Okay, so let's get right over to the computer, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get a piece of software called Raspberry Pi Imager, and that is how you're going to put your operating system onto the SD card. So let's get right to it. This is live. Okay guys, so we're going to be getting a piece of software called the Pi Imager. Alright, and now I've got this all written down for you guys right here, and I'll leave a couple of links down in the description so you'll know how to get this stuff. So here's the Pi Imager. I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to go back to the internet, and I'm going to pop it in here. And this is where you're going to get the software for the Raspberry Pi. Alright, so here is the Raspberry Pi homepage, and you want to go right down here to the Pi Imager. I'm using Windows, so I'm going to go ahead and hit Windows, download, and I'm going to save it into my downloads folder. I'll say save, and then right up here I see the Imager, and I'm going to click this here to show me in the folder. You could do it that way, guys. Up here, if you're not familiar with this, maybe you're familiar with going to your your folders down here. Click this, go to your downloads, and there's the Pi Imager there. All right. So now you all right. From this point, just double click on it. Alright, and automatically is going to load onto your computer for you. And sometimes you got to watch your Windows Defender. It may stop it. Once you hit double click and you say yes, right down here it'll show in your what's this, your start menu down here, a little Raspberry. Just click on it and just say OK. Welcome to Raspberry Pi Imager. Just say next. Go over here, agree to the terms, hit next, and put it anywhere you want. I just usually just put it wherever the default wants it to go. Hit next, Create a shortcut to the desktop? Yes. I say yes. Just so I know it's there. Wait for this to get all loaded up. Okay, and then it's done, and it says launch the imager. I say yes. And you can actually get rid of this window here. Okay, here we are. This is the Raspberry Pi imager software. So what you need to do now is I got to come back. All right. So this is the little holder for your your micro SD card, and there's a slot right in the front of it. And you take your SD card with the, little programming feet. What do you call those things? I don't know. Anyways, pop it in here. It only goes in one way. If you try to put it in the opposite way, it won't fit. All right. Pop it in there into the holder, and then take your normal side SD card and put it into your computer, into your SD card reader. Now at this point your computer's going to go crazy. All right. So let me bring you back to here. If you see this, you need to format the disks in the or whatever drive it comes up. Just say cancel. Just say no. Every time it starts to attack you, just say cancel. Now, get all the way back to the imager. Once you pop that into your computer's going to say, whoa, wait, whoa, whoa. Just say, screw you, no, cancel, 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 until you get back to the imager. All right? Now, choose your device. Mine's a Raspberry Pi 4B, so this is the one I'm going to choose right here. You can choose whatever flavor you have. Pi 2, Pi 0, Pi 1. Okay, but I have a 4B. So Pi 4 Model B. I'm going to click on that. And then choose the operating system. I usually always go with the 32-bit. But since I'm going headless, and I'm not going to be using the graphic user interface, the desktop and all that, I just go down here to the 32-bit. Because if you're going headless, you really don't need the 64-bit. But that's totally up to you. Don't take my word for it. I'm going to choose the 32-bit. Choose the storage. All right, it did not see. Oh, there it is. Took a second. This is my hard drive. And this is the SD high capacity card. This is the one that I just put into the computer. This is the micro SD card. I'm going to click on it. And then just say next. Now you want to go to edit settings. Up here it's setting the host name. I would highly suggest, leave it alone. Just leave it at raspberrypi.local. All right. Put in your username you want to use. Put in a password you want to use. This is for you to get into the desktop. Okay. Choose your SSID. That's your wireless router SSID. Put in the password for it. I'm in the US, so I say US. I'm on the East Coast, so I pick New York. Keyboard layout, US, just leave it alone. And hit save. And it says, would you like to apply the operating system customization settings? Just say yes. All existing stuff on your card's going to disappear. Just say yes. And now what it's doing is going to write the operating system to the SD card, your micro SD card. Once it gets done writing it, it's then going to reanalyze it to make sure everything is correct. So this takes a little while. So while we're waiting, we're going to go out and get a piece of software called PuTTY. Okay, it's by Microsoft. And that is the software you're going to use to get into your Pi headless. Because again, guys, you're not going to have a keyboard on this. You're not going to have a monitor on this. You're not going to have a mouse on this. The only thing you're going to have on this is just power running to it. And that's it. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to minimize this down in my tray and just let it run. Now, the next piece of software you want, I'm going to bring up my my little thing I set up for you guys. Don't you love it? Sometimes people showing you tutorials, they'll sit here and write this whole thing out while they're making the video. That's such bullshit. It's like, come on, jackass. Show me the freaking, you know, show me what I want to see. Okay, so anyways, install the Raspberry Pi imager. We already did that at this site here. Excuse me. I got so excited there when I called that guy a jackass. All right. Install the operating system onto the micro card. That's what we're doing right now. While waiting for the operating system to load on the card, you get PuTTY. So what we're going to do is you copy and paste this. Copy. Let's go back out to the internet. And we're going to paste this. And paste. I'm going to hit enter. This is PuTTY from Microsoft. All you do is just hit download. Alright, it's going to download over, you'll see it over here. Oh, here it is here. Just say save. It's going to go to your downloads folder. Click save. So now let's go to your downloads folder. We don't have to do it from over here. We can do it down here. Let's just go to the files. Go to downloads. There's PuTTY. So all you have to do is just double click on it. Now pay attention to what this says. Retrieving the information from Microsoft. It's starting to download. Now we just wait. Alright, it says you might need to take action in another window. See this flashing down here? Your Windows Defender is saying, hey, you want to load this? So you just click on it and then say yes. So that gets you through the Windows Defender. Okay. Then it says opening PuTTY. If the app doesn't open automatically, go to the start menu. I know that went away pretty quick, but it says if the app doesn't open, go to the start menu. All right. So you go right down here to start menu, and you can actually put I already use it for a little while, so it populated here, but put in PuTTY. PuTTY. All right. Right up there. Double click on it. Lower this down, and here's PuTTY. Okay. So for right now, we do have PuTTY loaded, but we don't want it. We're not going to use it yet. All right. So I'm just going to say cancel. But we'll go back to that when we need it. So I'm going to lower this down here. Let's see. Let's see how our imager is doing. It's still writing at 95%. So let's go back to the notepad while we're waiting for that. So now we got the Raspberry Pi imager. We're doing the card. We've got PuTTY. It says now we're waiting for the card. But so the next step that you would want to do is actually you don't want to power up the Raspberry Pi at this point. I'm going to take and highlight this out. You do not want to do that. I'm going to say copy. Let's see, now let's find Raspberry Pi IB. Okay, so where do I put this? Let's see. I'm just going to pop it down here because I don't want it up there. I don't want to confuse you. Paste. And I'm going to get rid of this. Alright, get rid of this. And I want to get rid of this too. I'm going to copy. And I'm going to get rid of that. Bring this up. Okay, now power up. I'm going to enter. I'm sorry guys, I should have got this ready before. Paste. I'm going to enter that. Okay, so now we got PuTTY. The next thing you want to do is you want to run a program inside PowerShell. Alright, I'm going to say PowerShell. PowerShell comes with most any Windows. It's not the command prompt. It's a thing called PowerShell. So you go down here to the start menu and you put in PowerShell. P-O-W-E-R. And there it is right there, PowerShell. Just click on it and a window like this opens up. Okay? I'm just going to lower this down for a second. Now, you want to copy from these brackets all the way up here to where it says 4. I'm going to right click, copy. I'm going to open PowerShell up. Now, what this is going to do, it's going to look for every single IP that is in use on your Wi-Fi right now. And what this does is, we're going to run it first. Let me just right click here and paste it on there. It's going to start the program and hit enter. What it's doing now, it's going out and looking for all of the active IP addresses. Okay, this is how you're going to find the, I just want to get rid of this. You need, yeah, that fucking, that effing format thing came up again. Just say cancel. Now what it's doing is, again, it's going out and looking for all of the live IP addresses on your Wi-Fi. And what that's going to do, it's going to make it so much easier to find the IP address for your Raspberry Pi, other than trying to log into your router and everything else, because that just opens up a big can of worms for me as doing this tutorial, because then I got to show you how to access your router, you know, trying to find the IP address of your router, because some people don't know about that. This is so much easier to find the IP address for your Raspberry Pi. Okay, so now this is pretty much stalled. This program is pretty much stalled. So this is telling you that these are the active IP addresses, okay, right now on your system. All right. So let's let this go for a second. Let's go back to the Raspberry Pi imager. All right. I think it's done. Yes, it did finish. This is what you're going to get. Raspberry Pi operating system 32. It has been written to the SD card, so you just say continue. All right, and now you can actually just close that program. Let me come back. I'm going to talk to you guys for a second. Okay, so we got our Raspberry Pi. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to take out the large SD card, then I'm going to take the micro SD card out of it. I'm going to take the micro and I'm going to put it into the Raspberry Pi right there in the back. See that right there? You want to put the card in with these little pads. I don't know, the contactors there. All right. You want to put that into the Pi with those little feet down towards the board. Okay? All right, your card is in there. This is ready to power up. Now, I've already got my power from my Pi right here, ready to go. And I'm going to plug it in. And you'll get a couple of activity lights on there. Red is power, and the green is just, it's basically, right now the Raspberry Pi is loading up the operating system. It's going out, it's looking at the Wi-Fi, it's hooking onto the Wi-Fi. It's just getting some different parameters all set so that you can start using the Pi. Okay, so this right now, it's just sitting here on my desk. All right, so you don't need to see my face. I'm just going to show you that right there, and that is the image we'll keep for a little while. So now, let's go back to PowerShell, because this is where we've got to find the IP address for your brand new Pi, and then we're going to PuTTY, what they call PuTTY, into it, so that we can start using the friggin', what do you call it? Not the desktop, but the it's the environment there. What do they call it? Basically Python. But anyways, let's go back. Let's see. How do I get there? Hit here. Hit here. Okay. Let's go. Let's do this right here. We're going to go back into the PowerShell. Now, what we want to do is you're going to hit Control-C. Okay. That stops the PowerShell from continuing to look for live IP addresses, because it's going to go through all 256 IP addresses on the router to see which one's live, but you can tell it pretty much stopped at 22. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste in. Let me bring this over here, guys. I'm going to paste in this command again, and what it's going to do is going to force the PowerShell to go out and look for all of the live IP addresses on your Wi-Fi again. So now it found these, so if it finds another address other than these, that is your Pi, your Raspberry Pi. So let's do it. I'm going to hit enter. And see what IP it finds. What's the extra IP it's going to find? And most generally, that will be your Pi that came alive. Oh, I see 24 down there. Let me just roll this up. I guarantee you that's your Pi right there, because up here it stopped at 22, and this time around it found one at 24. Alright, so basically, guys, this is done. So hit Control-C. That'll stop it from looking for any more IP addresses. You can actually close this. Just remember that your IP for your Pi is 192.168.1.24. Okay? I'm just going to close the PowerShell. Now I'm going to open up PuTTY. And here it is already, so I'll just double click and it opened up behind me here. Here it is here. This is how you PuTTY into it. You put in the IP address for your Raspberry Pi. 192.168.1.24. That is the IP address we found. Okay, the new one. And you want to leave it at port 22. You want to leave this alone at SSH, and you just say open. So basically, when you open up PuTTY, PuTTY's already set up for you. Just put in the IP address, okay, right up here where it says IP address, and hit open. All right. Warning, potentials, and blah, blah, blah. Just say accept. And here is Raspberry Pi. It wants you to log in. So my login, remember, I had DIY. So I go DIY, enter. Now it says, hey there DIY, what's your password? Now remember, when you put in your password, you will not see any input up here. It's blind, but it is going in there. So mine is, all right, I just put in my password, enter. And here we are. We are in the, basically it's Linux. Linux environment. So the first thing you want to do is you want to just upgrade everything. Okay. So let's go sudo apt update. Is it update or I think it is update. Update and working? Yeah, it is update. I had to remember there for a second. So sudo apt update, and then you go -y. Just say yes. All right. So now let's. Okay, it loaded up all its updates. Now we'll go sudo apt upgrade. It's going to find all of those updates and put them into your Linux environment. And again, sudo apt update or upgrade and say yes. Now it's going to take a second for all this to load up. Once it does load up everything, guys, you are up and running with your new Raspberry Pi. You can start putting in stuff. You can, you know, mine Duino coins, or you can try CC miner on it, or CPU miner. You can actually make this into a crypto node, and you can make this a Minecraft server. You can do all kinds of stuff with this. There's a bazillion, you know, different projects out there that you can do with a Raspberry Pi. So let's just let this run for a second, and then I'm going to come back and talk my way out and move on to the next project I got going on. This takes a while. It's only at 51%, 53, 54. I don't know if I want to bore you guys with this. I do, because I want to show you what it looks like when to finish it up. Just so you know that you're on the right track too. 68, 69, 70, blah, blah, blah. It's just grabbing all of the updates. It's getting it from all over the world, from GitHub and all kinds of different places. I'm sorry about all the lingo, guys. I don't know all of the right lingo to say. I know what it is in my mind, but the exact, lingo that everybody uses for all the different softwares and products and all that stuff, it's different. It's actually pretty cold here in Maine today. It's only about 33 degrees outside. I got my little gas heater running behind me. Alright guys, I'm not going to bore you with this, but anyways, it'll come all the way back, and then it'll say, your name, and is it? Oh, it might be going pretty quick here now. Sometimes guys, this will get to 61% and then stall. Just let it go. It's thinking. For some stupid reason, right at 61% on the new upgrades, it just jams up for some reason. All right, I'm not going to bore you guys with this anymore. I'm coming back. All right, guys. So that is the long and short of how to get your Raspberry Pi up and running with the Linux environment. And you can put on Python. You can put all kinds of different stuff on there. Depends on what you want to use. Python, Linux, and all that good stuff. All right. So questions, comments, leave them down below. Buy me a coffee. I do have the link, so I'll have that down below through Ko-fi, I think it's called, something like that. I've actually got some products that I'm going to start selling on Ko-fi too. I'm going to have the Nerd Miners all set up and ready to go. I'm going to have some of these different Nerd Miners on here. I'll have the joke Nerd Miner on there too, where it'll say it's hashing at 9,000 gigahashes a second on a little ESP32, just to joke with your friends. I'll have those on there. I got some ham radios on there that I'm going to have, because you guys know I'm into ham radio. Alright guys, anyways, questions, comments, leave it down below, and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. If I can't find the answer, I'll go out and search for it for you, and I'll get back to you. Alright guys, thanks for watching.